Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayati girim yatkrpatamham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramanandamadhvam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna Matas and Prabhujis Dandat Pranam. So today we will talk about a very important topic of how to set our purpose and expectations in Krishna consciousness so that our relationship with Krishna will become stronger and stronger. So as we know that every relationship will actually get tested in the difficult times. Whether that relationship has any strength, has any love or affection, we will come to know when the difficult times will come. Because what happens in the good times is everything is going well, then there is no test actually. So when the things go wrong, that time how a person is behaving with the other person in that relationship, that actually matters. If you take a rope, when you see it, okay, it may look like very thick and strong, but its strength will be tested when it is actually stretched. So when it is being stressed, when it is being stretched, that time we will actually understand how much is the strength. So similarly, faith and loyalty is always tested in the difficult times. So loyalty means when things are going very much inconveniently, still I will stick to that person or I will stick to that product. So all these things will actually be tested in the difficult times only. Similarly, bhakti is all about establishing or re-establishing our relationship with Krishna. And when we are re-establishing, whatever principles generally get applied in any normal relationship, that has to be applied over there also. Just like we do not want any friend or relative who only comes to see us when we are doing well. We also want friends and relatives to come and see us when we are actually going through struggle, right? So the real relatives, real friends, we will actually determine and will identify based on who is coming to see me, who is actually standing by my side when the whole world is standing against me. So similarly, in our relationship with Krishna, we should also implement the same principle. So if I am joining Krishna consciousness, or if I am actually taking shelter of Krishna, my life's all problems should end. This should not be the basic foundation of our relationship with Krishna. Because when we are coming to Krishna, just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7 chapter, that Artho Artharthi Jigyasu Gyani, four kinds of people will come to me. And the first one is Artho, that means distressed people. So if you see in this Kali Yuga, all are distressed. Everyone is suffering in this world. And most of the people who come to Krishna, they come because they are suffering. Now, our suffering has brought Krishna in our life. But if we expect that once Krishna comes in our life, our suffering will end, see, actually, it will end, but that will take a long time. So, the complete end result is that your sufferings will end, but during the journey, there will be sufferings. And we have to remember the simple logic that the suffering has brought Krishna in my life. So, the same suffering may my relationship with Krishna stronger, deeper, and thicker. Because if I was happy, all happy, then I would have never remembered Krishna. So I remembered because of my suffering. So in the journey of Krishna consciousness also, if I get more suffering, then I should consider this as a blessing only. Srivas Prabhu was taking class on Sunday and he was telling the difference between a mature devotee or advanced devotee and a normal person is that a normal person or a normal devotee will consider Lord's blessings only when things go right in his life. If he gets a job, he gets married to someone, if his financial status is growing, if his health is growing, relationships are flourishing, all of these things, if they are happening, then he will say, oh, Lord's blessings are there on me. And when things go wrong, he doesn't consider it as a blessings. He will be say like, what God is doing. I came here to solve my problem, but he's not solving and all. So Lord will not only solve our problems, but sometimes he will keep our problems. Why? Because sometimes problems are coming in our way, but sometimes problems are the way to Krishna. So problems will only help us to go towards Krishna. We become more humble, we become more prayerful, more dependent on Krishna. So that is why problems and the obstacles are always important. So what Krishna is telling, that distressed people will come to me. So when we are distressed, we are coming to Krishna. So we should not feel bad if the distress continues, because that is our foundation. So understanding that distress and obstacles are the way to Krishna, this understanding will not come just like that. Many times people will come into Krishna consciousness, they continue only because their feelings are good, their emotions are going good. So if the feelings and emotions are going wrong, and if they are feeling bad, depressed and all, they may go away from Krishna. So our grounding, our foundation in Krishna consciousness should be philosophical. Philosophy means we have to understand Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So when we read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we will understand the philosophy, and what we have understood, how we have to understand, we will learn from Srimad Bhagavatam. Because through Leela, through the pastimes, through the reciprocation of Lord with the devotees and devotees' reciprocation with the Lord, we will actually understand what is devotion. So when Krishna says different verses in the Bhagavad Gita, we might learn, we might read, we might number of times go through the purport and all, but many a times we don't understand. And whether we have really understood or not, we will understand this thing when we are going through the troubles. So what you have actually learned from Bhagavad Gita, that implementation, whether it is happening or not, you will find out when the wrong times are happening. See, understanding parents' love when whatever you ask, it is given is very easy. Anyone can understand. But when you ask something and if your parents doesn't give, and at that time also you continue to love them, you continue to understand them, that time there is point where we can say that yes, I understand my parents, I understand my parents concern and my parents love, and I still continue to love them. So similarly, this applies in Krishna consciousness. When Krishna doesn't give you what you want, that time also, if you are continuing to love him, then that is devotion. Just like Narada Muni was jokingly one time said to Krishna, like, Krishna, these Pandavas are very wonderful. The moment they come into your association, many things happened. They lost their kingdom, they've been exiled, their wife are being disrobed, they were tried to get burnt in the Varnavrat in that house, and so many troubles came. But the wonderful thing is that throughout all the situation, their love towards you never stopped or never decreased. It was ever increasing. So when we hear about Pandavas, when we hear about Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada, all the great devotees, we admire them, but we fail to understand that just like how their journey is full of struggles, our journey can also be full of struggles. When a sadhu comes, when a sannyasi comes, we want to get their blessings, but we don't want to become like them. We just want their blessings so that we should not go through any troubles, but we should not get any inspiration to become like them and take the troubles. Just like Srila Prabhupada was given the instruction in 1922 that why don't you preach to the Western world? You seem like a very nice English speaking man. So his Guru Maharaj has given an instruction, and from 1922, even after the initiation in the 1933 till 1966, he actually preached in India very vigorously. But he could not get enough support, neither from his family, neither from his friends, neither from his relatives, neither from his god brothers, neither from the country. So many struggles, but he continued. See, generally, we feel like devotion means suffering will end. I had problems, I come to Krishna, Krishna will end my problems. This is a normal phenomena which we have in our mind. But if we see any great devotee's life, they have gone through a lot of struggles. Like Srila Prabhupada is a so great devotee that he should not have any struggle. Because as per our definition, devotion means end of the struggle, isn't it? So as per that devotion, then what Prabhupada has gone through is like very confusing, isn't it? So when we see the Sagar Manthan Leela, the churning of the ocean of milk, we see that Devatas, who are actually known as those who have mixed devotion, Mishrama Bhakti, because they maintain some material desires also, and at the same time they serve the Lord also. So there are only few pure devotees in the Devatas, but most of them are mixed devotees, or they have mixed devotion. So for them, nectar was available. When the churning of the ocean happened, of course, Rakshasas couldn't get, but Devatas got the nectar. But this Mishrama devotees, Mishrama Bhaktas got nectar, but the supreme devotee got the poison. So Lord Shiva was asked to drink the poison. So pure devotee is drinking the poison, and some mixed devotees are having the nectar. So here also we can understand that devotion doesn't mean only nectar. Okay, and that nectar is all about the consciousness. Maybe sometimes on a physical level, on a bodily level, mentally level, we may not have all that sukha, all that nectarian things, but what nectar exactly means, that at our consciousness Krishna should always be there. So though Lord Shiva has drank poison, poison was in his Kantha. Okay, he is Nilakantha, but his consciousness was never poisoned. So he drank poison, but his consciousness was nectarian only. So we should understand that having nectar or getting nectar in devotion means that it is not that physically things will be settled. It may not be, because Krishna plans, but what actually settles in a nectarian way is our consciousness. So to understand this, we have to understand the verses from the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in a more detailed way. So we'll try to see some of the verses here and there, and we'll try to understand what we can expect from Krishna, and whether Krishna is clearly communicating what will happen in devotion or not. We'll try to see it. So in a verse, in 4th chapter, 9th verse, Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. The one who actually understands in truth about my birth and activities will not take any body or will not come into this world again once leaving this body. So Krishna is telling that the one who understands my birth, my activities in truth, he will not come back to the world. And in the 7.3, he says, who are the people who can understand me? So he says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaya yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvataha. Out of thousands, see, first of all, getting some interest to perfect our life, to become Krishna consciousness, that inspiration, that inclination itself, 1 out of 1,000 will have. And out of such 1,000 people, one person may understand me. So Krishna in 4.9 telling that one who understands, he will actually need not take any birth again. And Krishna in 7.3 is telling who will understand. He's saying how rare to understand him. So Krishna is not telling that everyone can easily understand. Okay, Krishna is telling it is very rare, very difficult to understand. So that means that once we start our devotion, things will not be smooth. And not everyone who starts will reach to the destination so quickly or so easily. Some people may not also for a very long time. So Krishna is clearly setting the expectation, what we can expect from him. And in the further also, if we see, Krishna is telling like, na me bhakta pranashyati. So 9.31 says that my devotees never perish. But never perish doesn't mean that they will never go through any struggle. Okay, the meaning is even though if they go through the struggle, they will not perish. So just like if you want to understand this, okay, now he is telling so many things, but how can I understand all these things in truth? Then Krishna is giving one more hint also in 18.55. He says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yashashmi tattvataha. So devotional service is the way to understand me, not jnana mam or karma mam. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. So through bhakti only we can understand. Okay, bhakti means sometimes I can do bhakti and I can understand. No, tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam upayanti te. So you have to constantly be engaged in my service. Tesham satata yuktana. And how we have to glorify, how we have to engage, bhajatam priti purvakam. So lovingly. Now this lovingly, when the things go right, we can be lovingly towards God. We say, I love Krishna when things go right. Okay. When things go wrong, we say, whether Krishna, you are there or not. Okay. So when things go right, I love Krishna. When things go wrong, I doubt Krishna. So this is not bhajatam priti purvakam. This is like, it's a very conditional thing. So if we are conditional, then what happens? Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayanti te won't happen. Krishna will not give us the knowledge so that we can come to him, we can understand him. So we have to constantly, we have to engage in the devotional service, and we have to lovingly engage. Then only we can understand. Acha, through this process, when we are going through this, are there be obstacles? Yes, there will be obstacles. In 18.58, Krishna says, Mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi. So he's not saying that when you do say Sesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam, while the process of giving the knowledge, there won't be obstacles. He's not saying that. He says there will be obstacles, but if you're conscious of me, then you can overcome those obstacles. So the absence of obstacles, Krishna never promised. Even in the second chapter, Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agama paino nityastam stitikshasva bharata. Oh Arjuna, please tolerate. the impermanent going and coming, the appearance and disappearance of the Sukha, Dukkha, Shita, Ushna. Just like the weathers are changing, these will come and go. Please tolerate. And why he's telling to tolerate? Because Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. We are in this distressful world, but we are temporarily in this world. So when something is temporary, please try to tolerate. Okay, I am not promising that this will all be washed away. Just you take my name, just you come into Krishna consciousness, everything will end. All the sufferings, all the troubles will end. He's never saying that. Okay, so many times what happens, we are in the ISKCON movement, but we may not be Krishna conscious. That means we are in the Krishna conscious movement, but we may not be Krishna conscious. Every time when you are going through the trouble, and if you are getting troubled by your troubles, see, troubles will always be there with all the devotees. So the difference is when the trouble comes, the advanced devotees doesn't get disturbed, but we do get disturbed. So the troubles are common, but whether we are getting troubled by the troubles or not, that is the difference. So when advanced devotees are there, they have a faith that Krishna is creating this situation so that I can grow. And when we are not so advanced, we will think like, Krishna is being unfair to me, why he's doing all this and all, right? So when the troubles are there, our consciousness has to be Krishna conscious. Otherwise, if we are becoming problem conscious, if we are becoming Maya conscious, if we are becoming self conscious only, then the troubles will start troubling us. So mat chittaha sarva durgani. When you are conscious of me, you will overcome all the obstacles. Even though obstacles are there, you will overcome. But if you are not conscious of me, then you will be lost. Okay, so many times, even we are in the bhakti, we are still lost. Why? Because we are in bhakti, but our consciousness is not still Krishna conscious. So Krishna consciousness is not joining or admitting into ISKCON movement or Hare Krishna movement or the Krishna conscious movement. It is maintaining the consciousness which is always inclined to serve Krishna. If that consciousness is not maintained, no matter whether you are in ISKCON or outside ISKCON, whether you are a part-time devotee or full-time devotee, whether you are a grahastha or brahmachari, you will get troubled. So the consciousness, consistency in that consciousness is very, very important. And if that is there, you can actually overcome all the obstacles. Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. So Krishna says, this is my external energy and you cannot overcome. No one can overcome. But if you surrender to me, you can maya metam tarantite. So everywhere maya is there, everywhere troubles are there. And what Krishna is telling, that if you are conscious of me, you will overcome all this. So troubles will be there, and still there is a possibility that you can overcome. So we have to more focus on how we can overcome. We should not ask a sea that doesn't have storms, but we should ask for a ship that doesn't sink. So Krishna never promises a stormless sea, but Krishna promises an unsinkable ship. So if we are going in the Bhavasagar, so once Bhurijan Prabhu asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, why there are still struggles even after starting the bhakti? So we have accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are serving him. But why still we get troubled by Maya Devi? Why we are still get troubled by so many things? Why this struggle continues? And Srila Prabhupada says, see, when you are not Krishna conscious, when you are not in the bhakti, you are like a soul or a body that is just floating and trying to survive in the ocean, in the Bhavasagar. But when you get bhakti in your life, when you get Krishna in your life, you actually got the boat. And along with that boat, if you continue nicely, then you can have a good captain also who has the knowledge, and even you will also get the knowledge how to navigate through the ocean. But during all this time, you have to remember one thing, that the boat is still in the material ocean. So you are still in the material world, so you cannot expect that you will be free from the troubles. As long as you are in the dukkhalayam, dukkhas will be there. But you have to get the strength to survive in this. You have to become tolerant, you have to be confident that someday this will end, and like that you have to navigate. And sometimes you see, when we are even on the boat, sometimes the storm will be so strong that we may get wet because the water will come inside the boat, and we may be thrown here and there in the boat also. And sometimes the waves and the tufan is so big that we'll be thrown out of the boat also. Right? This happens when we are in bhakti. Our life goes through such a crisis that we do not have time to chant. We do not have time to attend the classes. We are so stuck up in our life. Like many people I message, they say like, we are stuck up with so many problems that దీంతోనే సరిపోతుంది. With this only we are just occupied. We don't have time for chanting. So this also happened. So that time, rather than just getting caught in the situation, we should remember that we already have a boat. And though we are thrown away out of the boat by this big wave or big tufan or torrents of rain, still our main duty is just come back fast and get onto the boat. Because if you make a delay, the boat will go far from you. So Bahunam Janmanam Ante, we got this boat. And after getting this boat also, if we are delaying in getting on the boat, then actually we become most unfortunate. So do not make a delay, just get on. Because when the waves are strong, you will be thrown out. So you need not sit and cry and get drowned. You just fix your mind till get me back, let me get back on the boat. And then you try again to navigate. And over a period of time, what will happen? You will actually reach to the shore. So Krishna says, the one who understands me, he will actually no need to take a birth again. And to understand, okay, it takes a long time, not all can understand. But during that process of understanding, our philosophical knowledge will be should be very strong, and we should set our expectations that Krishna will not give a stormless sea, but Krishna can give us an unsinkable ship. Just like Prabhupada, when he was trying to preach Krishna's message all over the world on the order of his Guru Maharaj to make the prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Prithvite Ache Nagaradigram Sarvatra Prachar Hoye Maranam, he has gone through a lot of struggle. But his devotion was apratihata. So, in fact, the character of a devotion is that it is apratihata. Nothing can stop devotional service. Nothing can. Especially nothing material can stop devotional service. Maybe a particular service can get stopped. Let us say you wanted to sing, okay, kirtans. That is what you wanted to do the service, and you got cold. Maybe you have a bad throat, sore throat, you have throat infection. You cannot sing, but that doesn't stop you to serve Krishna. So this way I may not serve Krishna, but this way I can serve Krishna. So service is apratihata. Selective service may be pratihata, but service in itself is apratihata. Just like if you want to serve in ISKCON, you have unlimited service. But if you have a very selective mentality that I want to do this only, then you have limited service. So you should be very much open that, okay, if I get some selective service, some favorite service, I want to do it. But if I don't get also, I want to do some or some way, something or some way. So bhakti or the devotional service is apratihata. So Srila Prabhupada's life struggle, when we see it in Srila Prabhupada Leelamrut, we will understand that he has gone through a lot of struggle. He never got any proper support, but still he never got stopped. So many times we just feel like great about talking about these great devotees, Prahlad Maharaj, Pandava, Srila Prabhupada, and all. But we forget to understand that, if we want to become great devotees, right, then we should be ready to take all that pain which great devotees has taken. And if our aim, if our purpose in devotion is not to become a great devotee, not to become a pure devotee, then we are having a very small purpose. If we are coming into bhakti only to set some things right, okay, let my job get right, let my relationship get right, let my health get right. If these are the purpose, then what will happen is whenever these things go wrong, your faith will be shaken, your loyalty will be shaken, your nishtha will be shaken. So we should have a bigger purpose. Like when we are going on a road, if we are going through a cycle, then if there is a fun branch of a tree which is fallen on the road, then your cycle has to get stopped because your cycle cannot overcome that branch of the tree. But instead of cycle, if you are coming with a truck, a big truck in front of this small branch of tree is very, very small, then what will happen? The truck need not stop. It will just give a bang and this tree or this branch will go somewhere and he just continues. So similarly, our purpose has to be very big in Krishna consciousness. I want to be completely Krishna conscious. I want to go back home, back to Godhead. See, even if I solve the problem now of my any relationship or a job or anything, I am going to get this problem again. Because as long as I am in this Dukhalaya, Dukh is unavoidable. It is inevitable. No matter how much I try, some or other way things will come. So I should avoid the Dukhalayam, not only Dukkha. So Krishna is giving me the chance to avoid Dukhalayam. Okay, Krishna can give some relief in this Dukhalayam also, but he can give a bigger relief by taking you from this world to that world. So let us have a bigger purpose. If our purpose is small, our mind will become very strong, and it will strong in a negative sense. It will start telling so many things. Our mind, people outside, all will tell, oh, you came to bhakti, thought that your life will be good. Now see your life full of struggles. Earlier you were better, actually. After coming to bhakti, you became more worse. And we start believing and we start doubting Krishna, that okay, maybe this is not going well to me. And what will happen? We get away from Krishna. And this is the biggest trap. So if you are going away from Krishna because of troubles, then you are actually doing opposite to what you are expecting from others. You expect others to come close to you even in the difficult times, but you expect Krishna to give only good times, and in the difficult times you are going away, then you are just going against your own will. You're going against your own expectation from others. So the expectations has to be set right in the from Krishna's, in relationship with Krishna also. So whether the troubles come, whether the sukha come, whether the ananda come, all the time I should get closer to Krishna only. And I should expect the troubles. Okay. And we should not ask for a problem-free life, but we should ask for a purposeful life. So we should never ask Krishna ki, please solve this problem. We should ask Krishna that give me such a big purpose that this problem seems very small to me, and I'll get all the strength to handle this. So let me do something big. So if Krishna can give us big, why we should ask for small thing, isn't it? So we all go through adversities. In our life, in this material world, we all go through adversities. No matter who you are, whether you are rich or poor, whether you are healthy or unhealthy, whether you are this country or you are from that country, wherever you are, whoever you have to go through adversities. Now we have to make a choice whether we want to go through the adversities or we want to grow through the adversities. Adversities come and some people get crumbled inside them, under them, and they actually live hopelessly. But we have a choice. When the trouble comes, when the adversities come, we should accept them as the challenges and opportunities to show our loyalty, show our nishtha towards Krishna. And through that, what will happen? Our growth will happen. No matter how much the world is powerful to hurt us, but we showing loyalty means we having faith in Krishna that no matter how much troublesome or how much powerful this world is to hurt me, but Krishna is supremely powerful to heal me. So no matter how much they hurt, I know Krishna can heal me. So we should not be troubled or we should not get worried about what the world is doing to me. We should always have a faith that Krishna will heal me. And Krishna can heal in different ways. Sometimes he may become a shield, he may protect us directly, and sometimes he may ask us to fight our own battle. But at any moment, we should know that Krishna is watching. And when the things go too much wrong where we cannot do anything, Krishna will interfere and take care. So one pastime which I'll share and I'll end the session, which I could not share. So when Krishna asking Arjuna to fight the war, Arjuna is supposed to fight the war. But whenever Arjuna was in so much deep trouble that he cannot save himself, Krishna has saved. So one such pastime is when Abhimanyu was killed, this Arjuna has taken a vow that I will kill the Jayadratha by tomorrow end of the day. And if I don't do that, then I will do the Agni Pravesh. I will enter the fire and kill myself. Now, Kshatriyas, when they take a vow, no matter who they are, they actually stand on that. So this news was actually gone viral. And this Duryodhana and camp, they come to know like, okay, fine. See, we cannot directly attack Arjuna and kill him. And Bhima is there and Arjuna is also very powerful. So it's a difficult job. Now we got a bumper offer that Arjuna want to kill himself. So what he told, like, if I don't kill Jayadratha at the end of the day, then he will enter the fire. So what we will do is we will not send Jayadratha into the battlefield itself. So Arjuna won't come to our camp and kill him because Arjuna is very pious and very virtuous. Dharma. So dharmically, he will only kill someone who enters the battlefield and fight against him. He will not kill someone who doesn't have weapons or who is not fighting, right? So will not let him fight itself. Let him keep in the camp only for whole day. And then what happens? Automatically, end of the day, he won't kill Jayadratha. So he has to enter the fire. So everyone was very confident that Arjuna's end is fixed. But the one thing they forgot, that Arjuna is never alone. So end of the day, Arjuna could not kill Jayadratha. And everyone became very jubilant and happy. And they called Jayadratha, "Okay, come and let us see the tamasha that Arjuna will enter the fire. Let us enjoy this view." So they called Jayadratha. And in that dancing mood, they actually forgot that the end of the day happened very early, which is weird. Only, I think, if I'm not wrong, Shakuni was actually clear that it was not end of the day, but rest of them thought it is the end of the day. And when the Jayadratha came, Krishna has removed the Sudarshana Chakra from the sun. So sun was actually shining, but the end of the day happened because Krishna has covered the sun. So when Krishna started uncovering it, so again it was daylight. And that time Arjuna was being instructed by Krishna that shoot an arrow to this Jayadratha and kill him. And you shoot in such a way that his head should not fall on the ground, but his head should fall in the lap of his father. Why? Because this Jayadratha has a benediction that whoever makes his head fall on the ground, that person's head will be burst. So if Arjuna makes any arrow or any attempt to make this Jayadratha's head fall on the ground, Arjuna will also die. So Krishna has not expertly covered the sun, but he also expertly advised him that he should shoot an arrow so that the head of the Jayadratha should fall in the lap of his father. So he shot, and the head went and fall in the lap of his father, and his father actually thrown the head away in the shock. And when it fall down, his father actually died. So Arjuna was in the deep trouble. Then Krishna interfered. So Arjuna has failed actually to fulfill his vow, but Krishna finally came and rescued. So temporarily, we may also fail in our life. Temporarily, we may also go through a lot of struggle, but we should always have faith that at the end, Krishna will come and will quickly rescue us some or other way. The whole world may have power, intellectual strength, resources to hurt us, but they don't have Krishna. We may be sometimes resourceless, powerless, we may be ill, we may be sick, we may be weak, we may be failure, but at all the times we should have Krishna. Because Krishna is there, then our victory is guaranteed. Though temporarily we may fail, but at the end of the day, we will actually win. So end of the day, Arjuna has killed Jayadratha. Similarly, all our troubles are like Jayadratha, who may try to escape and come only when we are weak, but if we have Krishna, then we will get all the strength to face them. So when we reach to the end of the shore, okay, when we cross over the ocean of nescience, ocean of this material existence, that time when we look back, we will understand that Krishna was always there with us. And sometimes he was holding our hand and pulling us towards, and sometimes he was kicking through Mayadevi from the back so that we can move forward. Whether he is holding our hand and pulling forward, or whether he's kicking from the back, in both the times he is actually making us advance. Okay, we were only going ahead. So when we watch a movie, in the first half we will see that hero is getting beaten up, he is resourcesless, powerless, but end of the movie we see that hero only wins. So similarly, a devotee never perishes. That is what Krishna promised. And a devotee never perishes, though he go through the struggles, but he never perishes. But we have to be patient enough, we have to faith, we have to have loyalty towards Krishna, so that we can endure the difficult times. How long those difficult times will be, we don't know, because we don't know how Krishna is planning our life. We should always try to do whatever is in our hands, and we should always have faith that whatever is not in our hands is still in Krishna's hands, and he is Suhrudam Sarvabhutana. He will give me something good only. Apparently it may not look good, but overall it will be good only, because Krishna doesn't give anything which is bad. He is Sarva Priya, he is Suhrudam. He will give only what is best for me, not only good, what is best for me. So if we have this faith, our journey will become more empowering, more purposeful, and more meaningful. So we have a responsibility that we should set our expectations from Krishna right, and we have to make our purpose bigger. So today, whatever is your purpose, you have to check. If your mind is troubling you, that means your purpose is small. If your purpose becomes big, your mind will become small. It will not trouble you much. As long as you are getting troubled by your mind, that means your purpose is very, very small. So our mind can make anything big. But if you make your purpose big, Krishna big, then your mind cannot make any problem big. So your problems may be bigger, but Krishna is the biggest. So we have to have this faith and we have to lead our life. Then our journey will become so sukham avyayam. The most joyful process will become this bhakti. So Srila Prabhupada says, chant and be happy. Why? Because we have many reasons. We have Krishna. This one reason is also enough to be happy always. So chant, you will become happy, but he didn't say that chant and become happy. He said chant and be happy. So while chanting, while doing everything, no matter whether troubles are there, whether sukha is there, ananda is there, we just have to feel happy, because as long as Krishna is there, we need not worry about anything. Let us do what we can do, and what we cannot do, Krishna will do. Okay. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.